From the After 9 podcast studios, this is After 9 with Scott and Kat.
Hi, friends. Happy Monday. We're back. Here we are. Hi, Dave.
Hello.
I promised the people I would do a pod today, and here we are. We've delivered. Had a nice long weekend, though. Thank you for your DMs, and thank you for taking note of my party crashing, which I did do.
I got a DM about you actually this weekend
did?
from somebody who said that they partied with you on the weekend, and I was like, I don't remember Kat saying anything about going to a party. Like, usually you would tell me that ahead of time that you were going to go to a party, but then you didn't tell me anything about a party. It's a world famous Kat Callahan party crash.
It's a party crash.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, my friends and I, so we all went to school in Galt specifically, but Cambridge, but for those who are from Cambridge, Galt, in case you're wondering. And we grew up together. So these have been my good girlfriends for like 30 plus years. And a couple of years ago, we were out to dinner in like the Gaslight District, which is like a beautiful little spot in Galt, by the way. They built it up to be so lovely. There's there's condos there and stuff, but there's so many restaurants now. There's several restaurants. We just went to another new one called The French. If you're looking for a restaurant, very good experience.
What do they serve there?
The French stuff.
Oh,
no,
like French toast, French fries.
Everything is French. I had the steak frites.
French dip.
I had French onion soup.
Croissant.
Yeah. It was lovely. It was lovely.
Oh.
And we were there for a long time. Our reservation was at 7:30. I think we stayed till 11.
What?
But It was like one of those ones where they took their time too. Like they were not in a rush.
Yeah, right. The server's probably standing there like,
swear
oh
to
my
you,
God. I just wanted to go see Moana 2. Now I'm not going to make it to the theater in time because these girls won't leave.
No, I promise you, like they took their time too. So we were like, are we okay here? They're like, please be comfortable, enjoy your time. So we were there for a long time. So when we got up, so what happened was 2 years ago, after a restaurant, we went past a hall. There's a hall called Tapestry Hall. It's a beautiful spot in Cambridge. And there was a party happening in it. There was a DJ playing the whole thing, and no one was on the dance floor. And we felt awful for the DJ. So we kind of wandered in. And I'm going to blame a friend of mine for doing that. It wasn't me who led the charge that time, but it was fun. And we ended up on the dance floor, and the DJ was chatting with us and stuff, and like, thank you for finally like coming to the dance floor. And we're like, well, we don't even go here. This is not my work.
It's not my dance floor.
This is not my dance floor. I don't belong here. I was not invited here. But it was such a funny, weird situation that I talked about it on the radio. Fast forward to the next year, which was last year, they had security at the front. So I think I did that. Like someone was there checking, like, do you belong here? And no. So we all like ran away.
You gotta love that at some point in the prepping, they were so bothered that they remembered last year.
Yeah.
Like, with like, oh, what do you want to do for Christmas party this year? Like, I can't remember anything bad that happened at last year's Christmas party at all. I can't think of anything.
No.
So they must have had like a note to be like, oh, you know what we need this year? We need security so we don't get any more party crashers like Kat. Because didn't you said they specifically knew it was you.
Someone at Tapestry, it was the actual venue, which they may or may not really care, but they want to obviously make sure that when you're paying money to have your event there, that you don't have party crashers. And by all means, nobody actually wants party crashers. I'm aware of this. So the hall probably put that in motion. But if you think about it, I created a job. I'm helping the economy.
That the spin?
Out.
Sure. That's how you're going to turn this one? All right.
I don't know. Listen, I mentioned Tapestry Hall's lovely. You should have your event there. It's beautiful.
So when you go to this party, like, how do you crash a party? Do you sit at someone's table and start eating, or do you just go get drinks? The thing
is, like, that first year when we did crash that, and we straight up did crash it, because this year was a little different. I'll tell you why. But we didn't even go to the bar. Nothing. We didn't eat anything. We didn't drink anything. We just danced on the dance floor. So we didn't take anything of anyone's. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't up the bar bill because we didn't get drinks or anything. We just wanted to dance. That was it. Is that a crime, Dave?
It is a crime to dance.
So we did. So this year, this was the craziest though. I don't know what the odds of this are, but the good girlfriends I was telling you about, I went to elementary school with. So we're all walking toward the place, and we hear there's a DJ at this hall that we didn't get into last year, but we did the following year. And they said, let's try again, guys. I'm willing to try again. And I said, well, you got to infiltrate the smokers area, because they're usually good to chat with people while they're outside anyway, having a smoke. So we did. And, you know, Dave, it was a brilliant move on my behalf, because, first of all, a friend of mine started chatting with one of the people there who she got the info as to whose Christmas party this was. Turns out it was Remax Twin City. So there you go. Little plug for you guys at Remax Twin City.
That name's very familiar.
It is. So we have several friends that work for Remax, including our good friend Tony Johal. And oddly enough, here's the weird part. All those girls I mentioned I went to elementary school with, we all went to elementary school with another girl named Mallory, who happens to run the office at Remax Twin City.
Oh, you're kidding.
What are the odds of this? So I just said, hey, is Mallory in there? And they're like, Mallory's throwing the party. I was like, oh, great. They're like, do you want to go say hi? I was like, absolutely.
You're like, I knew that.
I was like, yeah, no, I know. Mallory's in there. That's fine. Could you go leave me till Mallory, please? Like, what are we waiting for? And they let us in, invited us to the bar and everything. So I did get a drink at the bar.
Oh, my gosh.
Courtesy of Remax Twin City. They're great. And I bumped into a couple other people that I knew from there just because, when you go back to the city you're from, you run into people you know how this works. And we danced on the dance floor. We stayed for about an hour. We tried not to overstay our welcome, but they were kind enough to say, yeah, it's okay. Dance for a while. So from 11 until midnight, we were there at the Remax holiday party.
That is so funny.
Oh,
and
it was fun.
Do you think anybody resented that, or was everyone like, yeah, come on in, have a blast? Eat our antipasto bar. Go for it. Anybody want some artichokes?
No, no food. We didn't take anything but that. But they did invite us to have a drink. So we did have one drink, and literally that was it. The dance floor, that was it. We did bother the DJ probably to play a couple songs, and he was lovely, and he did. But aside from that, no, we tried not to make too much of a splash, except for when Lil Jon Get Low when it came on. We were probably really annoying at that point because we're millennials.
A little ashamed of you. Disappointed
for
in
crashing in general, or
no.
What particularly?
You have worked many events.
I have
many events, and especially those that you work very, very closely, with DJs.
Mm-hmm.
And when people crash the DJ booth to request songs, it's usually not the DJ's favorite part of the night.
Not at all.
And you knowing that,
I sent someone else up. That's why, because I didn't know that.
Wow, you didn't even go?
Nope. My friend Mandy was like, I could listen to some Lil Jon. I was like, go tell the DJ. And she did.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to be that person. Isn't that awful?
Yes.
But hilarious.
Yeah, you're a terrible person. We've learned Kat is a horrible human.
But don't you agree when you're like a DJ? Because you know many, many, many DJs. I know you've done the club thing for years. If there's no one on the dance floor and you're DJing, that's not fun either. I think we helped to keep the dance floor going.
Nah, you know what you are? You're the person who thinks you helped keep the dance floor going.
But really didn't?
No. How many people think we started the whole party? I'm like, no, you didn't. Or you get the ones who walked in at 12:45 and then go, we're leaving in 15 minutes. Can you play our song? It's like, when did you get here? Just now.
Well, this is not a club, though. Keep in mind, this is a holiday party that was wrapping up. We were at the end of the party, tail end.
Were there any singles in your group?
Yes.
So is there any attempts to mingle at this party? Really? Okay.
Yes. And I would off of this microphone, I will give you more details on that. But I do not want to embarrass anybody, but I thought about trying to hook a friend up in that moment. But anyway, I'll discuss that with you later. How was your weekend? What'd you get up to?
Not a heck of a lot.
You didn't crash anything?
No, didn't crash. Didn't crash into anything. Didn't.
Well, that's a plus with you.
Yeah. I'm still dealing with the cracked rib.
Yeah.
So when I had to get it checked out the day after it happened, I was told it's going to be a few weeks before it feels normal again. And
yeah.
I mean, we sit in a room together and you're looking at me and you can see how often I wince.
I feel in pain.
Yeah.
When you say ow, because I could feel the pain.
And it's just from turning.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just reaching to put my headphones on. Sometimes it's turning to reach to grab the mouse. You just kind of learn how everything's connected.
Yeah.
And it feels like I've got tentacles that just connect to every limb and it's all connected to your ribs. It's brutal.
Hopefully in the next, hopefully this week you notice an improvement, because I figured by now you'd feel a bit of an improvement, but it doesn't seem to be the case yet.
No. It's very weird to start your day cursing.
Yeah, that's not a fun
pain.
way. That's not what you want. No.
God.
Does it wake you up in the middle of the night sometimes, the pain?
Yes,
if
does.
you move in the wrong way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm having a hard time with solid sleep or long periods of sleep, because I'm a side sleeper as well.
Okay.
So I flip from side to side. I can't flip right now. So it's not a good scene to be involved in right now, but I don't want to complain and bring down the spirits and energy of the pod today. Come on.
Well,
now.
Get better. Speaking of which, Scott, a surgeon's orders still resting. In case you're wondering, you can always send him a DM and tell him, get better soon, buddy, and all those things at Scott Fox on Air.
Big swollen foot.
He did not send me a photo of the foot, and I'm okay with that. But did he send you a photo?
He did. Yeah, it is.
Because he got the thing off. What did he get off? The cast? It was a cast that was on there, right?
So he had a cast that was like 3 sides. So under his foot and then around the sides. Top was open and it was just bandaged and everything like that. So that was taken off and everything. Now he has the boot. And he said that when they put the boot on, I feel so Canadian saying it like that. A boot.
Oh, you put a boot on.
When he put a boot on.
Tell me what happened to the boot.
Oh, right, Anne. He put a boot on. So when he put the boot on his foot, he said that it made his foot change direction a little bit. You know, like, because you're in a cast and it kind of forms one way, but then you put the boot on and your foot's, it's making your foot move.
In a bad way.
Into position. Yeah. And he said it hurts. Not very comfortable.
Yeah, it can't be comfortable. No. Hopefully he feels better too. You guys got to feel better already. Man, I feel like in pain just listening to your stories. Being in pain.
And it's wild to think like these pro athletes and all these, you know, top of the world physical condition, these sports stars. I'm like, I watch the Survivor Series on the weekend and I'm watching all these bumps that these wrestlers are taking and I'm going like
slams, like a boom.
I tripped on a high chair and I I haven't been able to breathe in 3 weeks. Like,
did I tell you?
How does this happen?
I was telling some of the story and I just, every time I can't not laugh when I say it because they said, oh yeah, I heard, how did Dave get hurt again? And I said, well, he tripped. Every time I say that you tripped over a high chair at Chuck's Roadhouse.
Stop saying it that way.
I can't not laugh.
Stop telling everybody that way.
And then he landed into a wall. He's like, boom.
Yeah, I tripped on a high chair and hit the wall at Chuck's Roadhouse. Yes, that's what happened. It's what happened. That's the truth.
It's just not, how can you not laugh after the pain subsides?
I would have honestly, and I say this to everybody who wants to laugh, and then people laugh when I tell them and then they go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like, no. I would be laughing just as much as you.
It's funny.
If it were anywhere other than me.
Yeah, if it's funny. I mean, I fell down the stairs. And even that's funny. Like just falling down the stairs as an adult. Like who does that?
And you see, I wish I'd seen it.
Yeah. And honestly, you would have laughed because it wasn't like I didn't like fall rolling. I just fell and hit my butt several times though. So it was like, stare,
bounce.
stare. You would have laughed, probably. And then I landed right on my feet. It was like, stare, up on my feet. And I was like, I think I'm okay. 5 minutes later, I was like, I'm definitely not okay.
You took 2 steps forward and started peeing yourself. You're like, oh, God, I've lost all control.
It really friggin' hurt.
Yeah.
Speaking of losing control, some snow fell, finally. I say finally, but I don't know. Is it early? Is it late for snowfall? I can't tell anymore.
It's December, and it's been
December.
so... for the last several years, I feel like it's been such a crapshoot. You can't.
Yeah.
I almost can't guess when it's going to happen.
Me either.
I mean, I'll look at the forecast and everything, and that's usually a pretty good indication. But
aside from that, though, but in advance, you never know.
When I don't have my farmer's almanac nearby,
yeah, and even then, it's not. Even then, are they always right?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
They say we're going to get like more snow than last year, which I could believe. We didn't get very much last year, from what I remember.
Yeah, sure, fine. I'd love no snow if possible.
I know. Are you booking like vacations and stuff like that already? Are you like on that level, seeing the snow? Are you like, this is when we book a trip to get out of here?
I walked to my car yesterday. I was parked at a store, and I walked to my car, and the snow was blowing into my face. And I'm not kidding you. The first thing I remember was, why do I live in a place where there's snow?
I know. It's awful. There's actually, it's
we
awful.
Hate it. We hate everything.
Let us complain. So I just actually got an email, speaking of which, because all the airlines are trying to get you to buy stuff because it's Cyber Monday. For those who don't know, I don't know. Cyber Monday is a weird one for me because I feel like all the Black Friday deals are online anyway. So is there really a difference between the Black Friday deals and the Cyber Monday deals?
They feel like they're the same.
I feel like they're the same, but I hear travel's better.
Well, it's also the pre-Boxing Day sale.
Yeah.
And then it's also the Family Day pre-sale. There's also the New Year, New Me sale.
Plus Prime extension.
Don't forget that.
Prime extended sale.
Very important to remember the celebration of St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. So we'll need to focus on that as well.
You know, that really popular shopping season that is St. Patrick's Day.
That's correct. Yep.
Everybody knows it.
That's right. Arbor Day is not that far away.
What day is that?
It's September.
You don't know, do you? They do say Cyber Monday, though, is the most popular online shopping day of the year. But again, I'm going to guess that it's a little more spread out than you think. 59% of people are planning to, or probably already have, if you're planning to, have shopped already today or will, compared to 53% they say on Black Friday. So 59% today, 53% on Black Friday, but are all the deals the same? You got it. Can you talk about your sweet deal that you got though there?
Sure.
What do you got in front of you there, you flashy little
I
person?
I upgraded my device.
You upgraded your means of communication?
I did. I'm a Galaxy man myself.
You have 3 phones right now.
I know.
Hollywood. Okay, I know one's a work phone. I know one's a work phone though,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, this is a work phone.
Yeah. And is that your old personal phone?
This is my old personal phone, and this is my new personal phone. So yes, I have 3 of them right now, and the only reason I have the old one and the new one is because I haven't transferred everything over yet.
Is it easy, like it is with Apple, to transfer everything over?
Super easy, but I'm paranoid that there's things I missed, so I'm gonna like double check and go over it.
Got it.
But yeah, now it's like 256 gigs. Like this is a
It looks
computer in my
nice.
hand. It's like I'm basically carrying a tablet. This thing's huge.
That's nice.
It's the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra.
I can't believe you said 24. The last time I had a Galaxy, it was a 7. That was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago.
I had that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I switched to Apple. And the only reason I switched to Apple is because everyone in my life had Apple, so I couldn't be on the same chat. You know what it's like.
You changed for the chat?
I did.
Can I tell you I was talking to somebody yesterday who's an iPhone user and said, "Oh, what phone did you get?" And I told them, and then their text was, "Oh, great, another 2 years of green text and no read receipts. Wonderful."
It's true.
Well,
but here's the thing: is why can't? Isn't it supposed to be that you guys on Android over there, shouldn't you be able to keep up with the messages on Apple? I thought that they had integrated something in the Apple software to allow that. But the last time we tried to do a texter group with Apple and you were the only Samsung, we couldn't. Is that right?
I get the messages, but I get them separately.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit. And then that's bullshit.
Why? Who cares?
For you.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother you?
No.
But how do you know? What if you are in multiple groups with multiple people? So let's say like there's a couple different people with you on different chains and they're replying. How do you know what they're replying to? And then do you reply to everybody individually? That seems like a lot of work for you. I wouldn't like that at all. That's why I switched. See? You should switch. I'm kidding.
Listen, I'm happy with it.
I know you are. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with an Android. I'm not anti-Android in any way, shape, or form. In fact, one day I might go back. Who knows?
I like them better. This is how I've always described it for people who ask me. They say, well, what's the difference? And I go, well, an iPhone, I feel like they hand it to you and say, here's how you use it. With an Android, they hand it to you and say, how would you like to use it?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I just find there's more customization and stuff. That's just I like it that way. I mean, I know there's tons of people who love it and swear by it. All the power to you. Fill your boots with your iPhone.
That's the thing, right? As long as you get the one you like, who cares? Who really cares? We just have to deal with the green, though, the green text bubble. That's all we have to deal with as Apple people.
Live with it. Live with it. I don't know what to tell you. Live with it.
I was looking up before, and by the way, we do have meetings actually today. We do have meetings because we have things. We're on location, by the way. I should mention at Lime Ridge. So if you live in the Hamilton area or you just want to fancy yourself a trip to Hamilton this weekend, coming up on Saturday is one of our many across all the stations that we have the Scott and Cat Show. Christmas ways to help, if you will. It is the holiday broadcast blitz. So we're going to be live on location at Lime Ridge on Saturday, starting at 10 a.m., by the way. You can come down and say hello and donate toy, cash donations, etc. So while you're shopping anyway, make sure, or just say hello. You know, some people can't do that this year. Some people just, that's not the year for them, and that's okay. You can just come by and say hello. All the details are online. But with it being December, I was looking at all the big dates coming up for the month. And there's the obvious ones that we know, like, I don't know, Christmas. Everybody knows that. New Year's Eve hasn't changed, by the way. It's still on the 31st, in case you're wondering.
My calendar. I was looking at the calendar and trying to figure out when it was this year.
That?
So thank you for that.
But I don't know how often this happens because I don't have enough Jewish friends. And I say that every year. I don't have enough Jewish friends. But Hanukkah is on Christmas this year. Hanukkah starts on Christmas.
It's the first day, yeah.
Yeah, and that's I don't think that's very normal. If I'm not mistaken, typically it's right before.
Yeah, for the most part. Well, yeah.
For the most part.
I mean, it does move. It does move.
It does move,
year,
obviously.
So,
I mean, it is, and it is this year. It's the 25th, and Kwanzaa begins December 26th. Also, lots of entertainment this month. The highlights for me personally, and I want to know what your highlights are. Entertainment wise, Squid Game season 2. We've been waiting on that forever, and that's going to be Boxing Day. That's December 26th.
Oh, I know they're doing it all at once, or are they going to do like a 2 episodes and then another like a weekly release?
You're asking me a question I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should not have asked you questions. I knew I should not have asked anything.
Season 2. Yeah, I think that I know we're at least going to get the first few. But we do have some sneak peeks online if you want to see it. See, for me, I haven't even looked at these teaser trailers. I don't want to see it. I know he returns. The main guy returns.
Yep.
I don't even want to do spoilers here because you know what? Watch Squid Game if you haven't. Do yourself the favor. It's fantastic. But at least the first several episodes, because it is a series again, in case anyone was curious about that. But 12 new characters, they say. Twice as many creepy killer robots. The return of familiar faces, so more than just one, obviously. And if you know, you know. But it will premiere on Boxing Day, so that's very exciting.
That was such a weird show.
It was so weird.
It was great.
But it was so weird that it was, because it was different, that people talked about it.
Is there anything, like, do we really have to say spoiler free at this point?
No, I don't think so. No, how about, no, from here on out, we're going to spoil it. Go ahead.
Was there anything on the show that just, like, your heart raced when you watched it? There was one thing in particular, and most people I talk to, when I say it, they go, oh, yeah, right, but they don't ever think of it.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you mine? And then I wonder if it's the same thing.
Yeah.
For me, it was the moment that they had paired up in so many competitions, right? And so all of these things that they had to do. And pairing up seemed to work in their favor until it didn't. And it was the moment that they were playing the marble game, I think it was. It was a game with marbles in the sand. You know that episode? Where he had to play with a friend of his, essentially, because you picked your partner. So you picked someone you thought for sure you'd win with that you liked. Turns out you had to, like, you essentially killed them if you won.
Yeah.
That was fucked up for me.
That was
really
wild,
messed with my head. I was like, that what an awful position to be put in. Like, I want to win because I want to live. It's either you die or I die. So I have to go against you. Awful.
Yeah.
So that was one of the ones for me, but there were several moments in there where you kind of reflect on, if you're put in that position ever, what an awful position that would be to be put in. What was your moment?
The one that made me physically kind of like uncomfortable watching it was the where they had the bridge and they didn't know which step to step on, and it would either explode, or they fall through, and they would fall to their death essentially. Yeah. I got so nerved out watching that particular one, because I was like, I don't love heights myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, oof. I couldn't handle that. Like, my legs would buckle and I'd fall no matter what. Even if I landed on the right thing, I'd probably fall off of it.
The one great moment in that one, though, was the moment that the woman took the guy down, who was like just a sexist loser. Like, she killed him. She took herself out so that she could kill that guy and make sure he didn't win.
Yeah.
I love that moment. I was like, good for you. But awful. Did you watch The Challenge, too? Like Squid Game, The Challenge, the reality show?
No, I did not. No.
What? You have to watch it. It's so good. The way they did that was interesting, because they reenact a lot of those games, right? The way they did that was quite interesting. And the person who won, it was great.
Did they kill anybody on it?
Nobody died.
Oh, okay.
So so in particular for that one, they set the scene so that it looked like they were falling and then went to nowhere, but really they showed a behind the scenes. I think there's a special on Netflix as well. You can watch the behind the scenes, and it's just like a big inflatable underneath it. Yeah. So when you fell off, you did fall, but you landed on this big cushy inflatable that was not far from the ground.
It's like the Cirque du Soleil shows in Vegas.
Yeah.
The one where they run up the wall and then they fall and then there's this hole in the ground. You're like, oh my God, is that guy alive? And then you're like, oh wait, there's a giant trampoline.
There's a puffy thing right under, right?
About 18 seconds later, he comes flying back up into the air, because that's how far down the trampoline is.
Yeah, exactly. Back up again. So that's good. I'm excited. That's probably the thing I'm excited for the most for December. But the Jamie Foxx stand-up I'm also curious about, and that's coming up sooner. That's on the 10th. He's
going to talk about his medical condition, emergency? I guess, right?
Yeah.
I don't really even know exactly what happened.
Nobody does.
There was just so many rumors about it. Like, he'd had a stroke at one point.
Yes.
I heard he had a heart attack. I heard that there was like something that was contributing to a mental decline. But I don't know what any truth is. So hopefully it'll tell us something.
Like, that's the crazy part, is like, we all heard rumors, and I heard exactly those. I heard stroke. I heard this. I heard he died, like, technically, and then was brought back, resuscitated, I guess.
Wow.
So he's going to explain, which is why the special is called What Had Happened Was on the 10th. But you also have the football games on Christmas. You're excited about that? We'll definitely be watching in our house, because my husband does like football, so we'll probably be watching the football game, and Beyonce performing, of course. So there's that coming up. If you like baking shows, there's a ton of Christmas ones as I look on this list too. So lots for everybody. Oh, and Avicii fans, I want to mention this one too. December 31st is not just Avicii's last show. This is a Netflix special. There's also a fan movie called Avicii, I'm Tim. And it's like a documentary that was done with his family. And so both of those drop on December 31st.
I feel like he's not that big of a household name, so I think a lot of people can learn something out of it.
I think so too. And his life was apparently very interesting. But because he was not a North American artist, DJ, I think that's the reason why he's such a mystery to some people. They just think, okay, Avicii, whatever.
I don't know a ton about his background.
See him, there you go. If you're interested, the 31st, that's when that drops too. So a lot happening. Obviously, the movies were freaking rammed and will be. There's new movies coming out this month, including the Bob Dylan movie. Are you interested in that? Timothy Chalamet plays Bob Dylan and does a good job. Mufasa, the Lion King. I saw that trailer at the movies. I went to Moana 2 and I saw the trailer for the Lion King. It's not for me, but it's out on December 20th.
Also starring Timothy Chalamet.
It should. You know what, though? Timothy Chalamet's good.
Timothy Chalamet is Simba.
I loved him in Wonka. Did you see Wonka?
Yeah.
God, he was good. I thought he was fantastic.
I think he's fantastic. He's good.
I think he's fantastic. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is also out in theaters this month. There's a new Nicole Kidman movie out. Fine. So a lot of different ones. And then, as mentioned, Moana 2. Obviously, Wicked's still going to make money for a while. Gladiator 2. Lots to look forward to in the month of December. We've done enough talking, though, and we have a meeting in like 3 minutes. So we got to get out of here. But we will bring you more podcasts this week. Promise, friends. And make sure you listen to The Scott and Kat Show on all the stations, including Energy 95.3. We're on 91.5 Beat. We are on Fresh 93.1 and 103.1 Fresh Radio. Have a good one, friends.